I will now go to the to the next slide, which is project management methodology and can help development organization meet their strategic objective. Standardized process, reducing avoid duplicating of efforts. Now, what this really means for that? Like for example, a automotive manufacturing company will have a strategic goal. What is a strategic goal? Like Mercedes-Benz have recently announced that by 2025 they will all work over electric vehicles only. So it's a strategic goal defined almost 10 years back. So all the projects which are now created there to develop a concept car, to develop a e-car, to develop a kit, okay, to convert the existing car into electric car, or to do a collaboration so that we have a different kind of car. All this is to be done, okay, in the direction of strategic direction of the company. So this looks to be a small project, but they are not actually a simple independent isolated project. It's a part of larger program. Okay, like for example, in India we are now planning to make 500 cities. Now making 500 smart cities is not a big, not an easy task. But for that, somebody will have to first convert the municipal corporation into digital thing. Somebody will have to convert the logistics with a GPS. Somebody will have to come with a GPS maps with CCTV protections and everything. Somebody will have to develop a communication system. So these looks are smaller projects. Looks like an isolated project, but in reality, they are integrated project, and they are integrated for achieving a strategic goal defined by that city or by the big administration of that city. Okay, so why this is to be done? Sometimes it is POC, that is proof of concept. Sometimes it is called as prototype, so that there are no duplication of efforts. We don't want to do it, otherwise the same project is done again and again with no sharing of knowledge. See, everything, if you see a human progress today, we have come a long way, but we are not done only because our generation was smart. That's not the case. We actually evolved over a period of time. Everybody did some projects, they refined techniques, they refined the process. So we took that process from that point, we further refined it, and today we have a much better processes available, and tomorrow we'll have even better processes available. Because the technology is changing, tools are changing, processes are changing, expectations are changing, skill sets are changing, everything is changing. So naturally, this will eventually change the complete efforts. Now, what are the characteristics of project management? So we now understood what is, basically we understood what is project management. So how to define project, why we require project, and how one can really look at to a project management. So now we are talking about characteristics of project. So first is coordinated and controlled activities. What is coordinated and what is controlled? So we call it as, there are champion companies, champion driven companies. What is mean by that? There is one person who really takes like a lead, you don't discuss strategies with too many people, who take a lead and complete it. And other people have a high faith and belief into him, so they just go and help him out, and they ensure that whatever is being told to them, they do it perfect, and so this guy actually grows faster. Is that what we expect in project management? So we said that for this project, he is a champion. Whatever he says, you do it. And people say, boss, we don't want to work with this. Why? Because he may be good or he may not be good. I don't know. Why should I waste my time and energy? Suppose he becomes successful, it's okay. If it doesn't become successful, then what? Then where we go? The money is lost, time is lost, opportunity is lost. So we don't talk about it. So we said that it should be absolutely coordinated. I must know exactly, not I, every team member of my project should know exactly what needs to be done by whom and when and where. Then that is called as coordinated activities. And then it is controlled. If I'm told you that you do only this part, and if you start doing something more, then I must have a control mechanism. Somebody who is responsible for it will say, hey, brother, hold on here. Your job is done. Now it's my job. Let me take it onward from this. So those kind of activities, this is one characteristics of project management. So project management is not champions management. Okay. Project management is systematic process coordinated activity. That's it. So whether I do it here, I do it in America, I do it in Zimbabwe, it simply doesn't matter. It only matters by the skill level of the people. So it may differ in time, it may differ in resources, but the process remains same. Okay, that's something which we want. Then it is called as temporary organization. Where I told you, we are not talking about operations. We are talking about temporary organization, which is created for this project and done. Now, for discussion here or onwards, we'll take one example. We'll take smart city. We'll take metro as a part of it. Okay. So when I say temporary organization for project, so metro can be a program and part of metro can be a project. So program may have multiple projects. So then we are talking about metro is a temporary organization which will build metro. Okay, there might be another organization who will run metro, but that's an operation. But the building operation is defined for a period of 3 years or 5 years, nothing more than that. After 5 years, once the metro is ready, it is handed over to running company, their job is done. Okay, that organization is closed. So the organization came in existence for creating metro, organization created metro, and organization is closed because now there is no need for such kind of organization. It is always a time and a cost constraint operation. These are also interrelated to each. What do you mean by interrelated to each? If we increase in time, and that's what is the problem today. Suppose we have a content development assignment, or take a metro example in Bombay. There are some XYZ reasons for which now metro got delayed. So what has increased? Time has increased. What has it directly impacted to us? Directly impacted to is the cost is also increased now. Because salaries continue, the work is halted, the inventories are hold on, the project is not doing, cost is increasing, raw material cost is increasing, everything is changing. Now in this situation, the cost will go up. The project which should have done at X cost, today it might be multiple of X. And that's the reason why this is something need to be continuously monitored. Then we have application of knowledge, skill, tools and techniques. Okay, I'll give some different example. Okay, the example is like most of you know that in Hyderabad there is a Hussain Sagar, and in Hussain Sagar we have one big statue made up of stone. I don't know, many of you may not be knowing, but still let me repeat it for an example. While erecting the statue, it actually fell into water. They could not erect statue, and it went to the bottom of the Hussain Sagar. Now what happened? People say, "Usme kya hai na crane lagane ka." So we are talking about 13,000 tons of stone need to be lifted. Now we have no idea how to deal with this kind of situation because we have no resources, no knowledge, no skills to handle this kind of situation. Then there is a company who is expert in actually removing the sunken ships. Okay, they were invited, and so people thought now big machinery will come and they will lift. Nothing happened like that. What happened? They came out with a specialized belts. What they have, they put it just they had a ski divers. Sea divers, deep sea dives, and they went down and they put a belt below the below the statue at multiple locations, and both ends are brought up. Then they actually put industrial balloons there, and they start putting an air into that. And once the balloons are completely blown up, because of the balloon pressure and the belts and everything, the statue start coming and floating at the surface of the water. And then they did. The point which I am trying to drive to you is that you also require a good amount of knowledge. We call it as a domain knowledge for that particular industry. You should have appropriate skills available. So you want to build something, but you don't have an idea about that business. You don't know what skills are required. You don't know which tools are required or what techniques are required. Then what's the point in doing it? There is no point in doing it. like Konkan Railway, one of the classic project in this country, because nobody has built that kind of bridges which are, by design some 210 meters high or 20 to 220 meters high. So you require a separate set of skill set or separate set of knowledgeable people who actually understand this. Okay, so this is also one of the very important characteristics of project management. Let me conclude this slide again. We are saying that it is not something which is champions project management. It is controlled, okay, and it is also coordinated. Coordinated is properly, timely placed, and controlled is nothing beyond the scope, nothing beyond the budget. It is a temporary organization. It starts for creating something and it ends with after the completion is done. Then it is time and cost sensitive, or time and cost constraints are important, and then it requires adequate knowledge of that particular subject, skill sets which are required for that, tools which are required for that, and techniques which are required for that.